All right, we found our spot here. This is spot number 36, I believe. And we're a good about 1/8 mile from the road. Kind of goes down a little bit of a dirt track. Back up to here, it's got a picnic table. I think there's a smaller fire ring over there, and a main fire ring next to the picnic table. And where I stopped, it happens to be perfectly level. I'm just gonna stay right here. I am next to a couple of trees, but I don't think I'm gonna move because anywhere I move, a tree could fall on the truck, but and it's windy out here, so I mean, it is just what it's gonna have to be. Nothing really looks particularly dead, or I don't see any widowmakers. I'll do a good check around here just to make sure, but as of right now, it seems to be pretty good. Sorry. It's about 3:45. We left a little bit late during the day because it was really, really windy. I mean, we had a wind advisory this morning, and the forecast around here where we are said that the morning was going to be windy, but apparently it still is. So that is what it's going to have to be. So let's go ahead and get stuff set up here. Oh yeah, got a little bit of yard sale here. All right. Well, not too bad. Knocked off my heater. That's held on there by a little magnet. So I did not bring the diesel heater today because it's 50 degrees today for the high. The thermometer outside says that it's actually 54 degrees Fahrenheit. You see that? And the low tonight is going to be about 35, but that's not that cold. And the diesel heater really heats it up inside here to where I have to put up the windows and stuff. So if it's not really, really cold, I like not to bring it. I have this 200-watt heater that I can run off the power bank. I also have a little butane Cupid heater as well. I don't like running that too much because you burn hydrocarbon, it creates a lot of humidity. So. But we have that as an emergency. But again, I think we'll be okay. It's actually water. That's a homebrew keg though. I only brought about 2.3 gallons of water this time. I usually bring around 3 to 4, and it seems like I just always come home with at least another gallon. So I'm always thinking that I'm bringing too much. And this is a lot easier to bring too. I've also got the sprayer attachment for it if you need it. I have stopped using those green disposable 1 pound propane cylinders. They're a ripoff. They really are. I mean, they're almost like $8 for a 1 pound, which is ridiculous. I mean, I can fill up a 20 pound propane cylinder for like $14 and I get 20 pounds of it instead of just one for $8. So I went over these things here, these fuel keg, and I think Flame King makes theirs also, but I went with the fuel keg ones. No particular reason. I think that they were like $1 cheaper or something, but I've been refilling them on my own. I have 5 of them, so I always have 2 with me in the truck, and they're working out pretty good so far. Good girl. So yeah, I'll walk you around a little bit. We'll check everything out here. It's not a bad place. Quite secluded. Road goes up there for a little bit, so we're good bit away from the main road. Actually, the road we came off of was just an offshoot road from one of the main forest roads. It was like a 2-track, then being a 2-vehicle wide road. But come over here, yeah, I mean, you could probably fit a group of people back here. We're up on not really on a ridge, but we're definitely on a hill. That's probably why it's so windy, but it's too late for that now. And honestly, it's pretty quiet here. I kind of like it. So I did bring something different with me. Over the winter time, I got a really good deal on a propane fire pit to use during the areas where they have fire bans. Now, I know Pennsylvania and West Virginia both do not permit fires like with wood or any kind of charcoal or anything from March until I think the beginning or the end of May. One or the other, I don't remember. Now, we are in Maryland, but if you don't know the state cartography, where Green Ridge State Forest is actually about 10 miles west of Hancock, and that is the narrowest point of Maryland. It is about, I think it's less than 2 miles wide. So we might as well be in Pennsylvania and Virginia because we're not that far away from them. I called the state forest headquarters yesterday and asked them explicitly about whether it would be okay to have a fire, and if not, would a propane fire pit be okay? They said a propane fire pit's fine because you can turn it off. But she said that they haven't heard anything about banning flame fires. So, which is kind of strange because Pennsylvania and West Virginia, which are north and south respectively to us, they have those in. So I'm just not going to do a wood fire, and I'm going to use a propane fire pit because it's really windy for one thing, and I'm probably going to be battling the keeping a wood fire going. And just the fact that it is windy, if an ember goes up, and it is a little bit dry out here, even though it says that the fire risk is low, I don't think that's a good idea. So we're going to be using that. I'm going to get that set up right now. This is only a 5-pound tank. I'll be curious to see how long it'll last or not, but it is full. Okay. Looking around here for some trash to clean up. It's not too bad. I'm quite surprised. We do have a red wiffle ball and a green tennis ball and a hot hands. So let's go ahead and get that picked up. But it is not that bad. Even looking at the fire pit, not too bad. I don't see cigarette butts or beer cans or any of that stuff. I get a piece of hopefully that's not toilet paper. Set those there. We are at site 36. This table here says site 49. That's interesting. This is a little Covia Cupid heater. I'm just going to get it set up. I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm just going to deploy it real quick. This works really well for heating the place up really fast because I also have this little 200-watt ceramic heater. This is plugged into an analog thermostat, and then I have a plug that will come off of this, and I will plug this into my power station and set it to, I think I have it set to, that was a little bit low. Let's set it to 65. And over here I have my power station. So let's go ahead and move this forward just a little bit. Cool thing about these rotate, so get that over here. I'm not going to turn on the inverter just yet because if you turn on the inverter and leave it on there, it draws down. It's still converting the DC to AC power, so I don't want to do that. So I'll turn it on when it's time to go to bed tonight. So yeah, we're all set up in here for the night. What is it, Beans? You want to come up? So I've got here the first beer for today, or if you watch Never Lost Outdoors, an old camp soda. Shout out to Ryan. I'm sorry, Brian. I always get it mixed up. Brian from Dish Outdoors. Two huge channels that I watch. If you're into outdoor camping, those are the guys that I watch. So we got Victory Brewing, which is in my home state of Pennsylvania, even though I'm actually from Maryland, where we are now. But I live in Pennsylvania. We've been there for about 12 years. And yeah, so this is Victory Headwaters Pale Ale. I do love me a good American Pale Ale because it's only about 5.2% alcohol. Sometimes I don't want to be knocking back the IPAs, which are usually 6-7% alcohol. Beer from Brandywine Creek, a classic revived Headwaters, features bright citrusy and earthy hop character and a clean, crisp pale ale. Brewed with quality water, beer's most essential ingredient, indeed. Headwaters celebrates the unsung hero. Every pour helps support water initiatives that sustain the places we live, work, and drink, crafted with care and brewed for you. So let's give this a shot. Yep, a little bit of dank pine, definitely some citrus from probably some Citra. Very crisp, clean, not a lot of, I can't say the color, but not a lot of, no caramel malt at all, so very pale. A little crackery. I like that. That's how I like mine. Very good. I give it a thumbs up. So I decided that I'm gonna make tacos because I want to use the chorizo for breakfast tomorrow morning, and I'm kind of got a hankering for tacos. I love tacos. I love Latin American food. If you haven't guessed yet, and it's gonna be easier to make. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I love tacos. So chorizo tacos, and we're gonna have some salsa verde with tomatillos, onions, and serrano chilies, and of course cilantro. That'll be the topper. Pretty easy, and then I already have part of it for breakfast tomorrow morning. So let's do that. Alright, so tortillas are all done. They're sweating here in this this bag. So let's put them back in the camper where it's nice and warm. Whew, it's 73 degrees in here. Let's turn this let's turn that Cupid heater off. Okay. Use chorizo. There we go. There's the notch. It is. Turn the heater off up there. It's 74 degrees, and we just had this going, but the thermostat has already shut it off. So yeah, we are nice and cozy. So let's get these plated up. Let's do 3 at a time. Got the built-in shirt pot holder because this cast iron handle is friggin' hot. Really hot. But we'll live. Alright, so this is some homemade salsa verde that I did earlier this week. Tomatillos, some white onions, cilantro, and serrano chilies. And here we go. As you can see, 3 chorizo tacos with salsa verde. Feeling this is going to be very tasty. Oh, so good. One gone, just like that. I'm telling you, chorizo tacos, they slap. Slap harder than they have any business doing. So I transferred the remainder of this chorizo into this plastic bag that I use to heat up my tortillas, and we'll save that for tomorrow morning's breakfast skillet. Alright, that should be good enough for breakfast, I think. I'm just going to go ahead and put this upside down to keep anything else from all of this. Well, it is 9:30. I've had this fire pit going for probably 3 hours, I think. Maybe 2.5 hours. That 5-pound cylinder is showing, I have a little gauge on it, it's showing that it's almost empty, and I just picked it up too, and it's a little light. So this thing works great, but yeah, if I want to run this for an extended period of time, I'm probably going to bring a 20-pound cylinder. This will put out a good amount of heat, but this is great. This really is good. The wind's died down a lot too, so it's just been great. It's probably about, last I checked, 44 degrees. Not cold. Not cold at all. But you know, the coldness is relative to what you're used to. You know, it's kind of crazy about, see, 1 month ago I was freezing cold in the Canaan Valley, camping in the snow. It got down to 20 degrees at night. And last week, it was actually 80 degrees where we live in Pennsylvania. It was weird. And then 2 days ago, I woke up with frost in the morning, and I had to light my wood stove because it was so cold to take the chill off. And then here we are again today. So fall, spring, full spring, whatever you want to call it, the weather this time of year in the mid-Atlantic is just, it's a little schizo. Well, I'll I'll tell you what, guys. Thank you so much for coming along with this last adventure. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, hit like and subscribe. It really, really helps out this small channel. We are trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can share with your friends and just hit the subscribe button, that really means a lot to me. I'm trying to do this YouTube thing here to kind of help offset the cost of fuel and to be able to get out here and do more of these trips. And for a while there, we were doing really good. And my first video of this year, the two-nighter that I did in George Washington National Forest down in Virginia, that had over 15,000 views. I think it's close to 16,000 views, which was amazing. I mean, I never thought that I would get that kind of traction, especially after 2 months have gone by where I hadn't done a video. But, you know, the viewership and the subscriptions definitely do help. So for those of you who have watched the video and have subscribed and commented on my videos, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I mean, this is why that I do it. I want to bring you guys along for the ride and just kind of share my experience with everybody. That's the whole point. I am going to, I do plan to keep doing more of these videos. So definitely stay tuned. There will be more coming. I have a lot of really cool ideas planned here for the warmer months that are coming up. All right. Oh boy. Nice and toasty. Okay. It's comfy. It's 72 degrees inside here. And it's 43 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So nice and warm. I have the electric heater set at a thermostat for 68 degrees. So if when it drops below what it is now, when it drops below 68 degrees, it'll kick that on. I've got 89% of the battery capacity left, so plenty enough for the rest of the night. So we should be good. Probably doesn't seem that way on camera, but yeah, very small quarters in here. This is why I don't do a lot of camping or videos inside this camper, because this is really made for sleeping. That's the whole point. When I camp, I like to be outside. I like to do my things outside, cook outside, activities outside. But when I want to sleep, I want to sleep inside a shelter that I don't have to set up and worry about taking down in the rain. It's good to go. It's insulated and it's comfortable, and that's what this is. So I have basically, even though it is small, it's very comfortable and it's dry and it's cozy, and it's a good place to sleep. And it's another reason why I built this sleeping platform here that's about 10 inches above the ground, so I have a place to sit down and take shoes on and off, which is what I did here. So I can actually sit up with my feet on the ground, sort of. I mean, I'm a tall guy, but you know, my knees are a little bit bent, but I can still kind of sit up and take shoes on and off and whatnot. Morning, y'all. It's a little bit later than I thought. I did something I haven't done in a while, and that was sleep in. And I slept like a rock. I'll tell you, felt good. The little heater here did pretty good. I did not need to use the butane heater at all anymore, fortunately, because it is pretty humid in here. It's almost, we'll just call it 66 degrees. Outside right now it's 43, but I did get up around 2 o'clock in the morning. I just looked over there and it did get down to freezing. So this little heater did pretty well. And we have, I don't know if you can see that, still have 46% capacity left on the battery bank, and this is a 1.5 kilowatt hour. So that worked pretty good. So we're gonna get going here and make some breakfast. Liana probably has to go out and go potty. But yeah, let's get out there and seize the day, as they say. Come on, come on. gallo. This is some homemade pico de gallo, of course. So I do it. It's got some serrano chilies, so it's pretty darn spicy. I used about 4 or 5 serrano. I think it was 4 serranos, but they're a lot more spicy than jalapenos. So this here is just some leftover chorizo sausage from last night, 2 eggs, the dehydrated potato, sweet pepper, and yellow onion concoction that I made. Add a little bit more heartiness, and this is a lot of food. That's so good. That's why I love Latin American food, particularly like Southern Mexican, Oaxacan. There's just so much flavor that you can do so much with all of it. You know, you make one meal, and you can meal prep with the leftovers for days. All right, last thing, well, got camp all packed up. I've eaten breakfast. Very last thing we got to do here is pack away some of other people's trash. I've already got mine. This is all the trash that I amassed overnight. And this is, I walked around and found a few more things. So I got a miscellaneous length of some guy line here. Obviously this tennis ball and this wiffle ball. It's like part of a 2-wire cable, various microplastics, rubber band, label, bread tie, and looks like an old tent or tarp grommet. So overall, not bad. Surprised. Last few trips that I've taken out, I've had to clean up a lot of other people's garbage. So this is not that bad. So good job, Maryland. Good job. All right. I mentioned yesterday when we got here, I only brought about 2 gallons of water, maybe 2 gallons in my also my 1.5 liter drinking water bottle. This is a 1.5 gallon homebrew keg, and there's still probably a gallon in here. So I was correct. As long as, you know, I don't go too crazy with the water and the cleaning and stuff, I think what I was bringing before, 2.5 gallons, that was just way too much. Maybe like for 3 days I could use that, but even overnight I haven't even used 1.5 gallons, so that was good. So obviously we've left the campsite, and there is a pretty cool looking overlook that we're going to drive to. It's only about 15 minutes drive away. I thought about doing some hiking, and there were some trails that were nearby us, but the thing was a lot of it was downhill, and it's starting to get really, really windy again, and I don't want to walk through an area with no established trails and risk having, you know, a branch come down on me. I mean, that's happened to me in my own yard, so I just know better than to go play around in the woods on a really windy day. Fortunately, where our campsite was, it was mostly open. But when you're going through the bush, it's a different story. Yeah, so this is Zumrun Overlook. I just showed you the sign there. I've never heard of this before, and it was pretty close by to where we were, so I figured we'd go and check it out. Well, that certainly is beautiful. And there's nobody here. We got it all to ourselves. What do you think, Beans? You like that? Liana? Let's head back to the truck. It's already past noon, getting close to 1 o'clock. We got about an hour and a half drive. As I was saying, we had the place all to ourselves. And just as I said that, I was walking up to where our parking spot was and I saw another vehicle and I got in, and since then 2 more vehicles have showed up. So we got here and departed at the right amount of time, at the right exact time, the exact right time. What do I talk about? I can't even talk. All right. Well, folks, I think I'm going to call it here. Another video is in the bag, and I had a great time. It's a little bit windy, but I enjoyed it. I think Liana had a good time too. I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and thanks again for coming along. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really close to 500 subscribers, so if I could hit that goal, that would be huge. But anyways, everyone, thank you once again for coming along with this trip with me and my dog. Everyone stay safe, God bless, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.